Hey guys, it's Scotty here again. I've been really pleased with my Improved Prusa Spool Holder, but after a couple of months I realised I needed something else. I also wanted a light to do justice to my time lapses, so I went back to the drawing board to combine the spool holder with an LED light, and after a couple of months use and some design improvements, it's now ready for all you Prusa i3 owners out there. As with the Improved Spool Holder, I've done away with having to detach the arms each time you change a spool, and I've incorporated the removable spool spindle that easily locks in with a reassuring snap. It's super easy to put together, so if you can solder a wire and use a hacksaw, then you'll find this a piece of cake. Even better, the parts cost under $10, which is awesome given the results. I've included links to the parts in the description. Now to printing. You can print this in good old PLA at 0.15 or 0.20mm layer height, and you won't need to use supports if you place the outside of the arms facing down. If you intend on having a heated chamber, then you should choose instead PETG or ABS, as I unfortunately found out that PLA will deform under load at around 50 degrees Celsius or higher. I suggest printing with 3 perimeters and 10% fill. Now to assembly. The light uses the following parts, which all have links in the description: a 12-volt LED strip, a piece of aluminium channel, a switch, an LED dimmer, a female connector, some wire and solder. The wire I used was cut off a broken power adapter, so I knew it was perfectly rated for this application. Some electrical tape, and I used an unused 12-volt DC 0.5 amp power supply that I had laying about. I'm sure you've got at least a few of those too. Start with the spindle. I used some common PVC tube you find at hardware stores. Mine was 20mm in outside diameter, but for those in North America, the 3/4 inch tube will work just as well. You could also take the spindle model in the downloads and print your own, which is sized at 195mm to fit within the build height of a Prusa i3. Okay. So I marked my tube at 225mm, about 9 inches, and I cut it with my pipe cutter. A hacksaw or pruning secateurs will do the job too. Next we take the aluminium channel and cut it at the same length as the spindle that you just cut. Then we make marks at 5mm and 10mm from each end. Now get out your hacksaw and cut slots a little more than halfway through at these 4 marks. For the LED strip, I used the higher efficiency 5630 12-volt LEDs in warm white colour temperature. Now you need to cut the 2 short lengths of LED strips to fit into your aluminium channel. Make sure that you cut the LED strip only at the solder marks. Now with your fingernail, gently pull back the clear plastic to expose 3 of the 4 solder ends. Now we need to get together the parts so we can pre-solder the wires, LED tabs, switch with them wired through the right side of the 3D printed arm. We'll need 2 short wires to join the 2 LED strips and a pair of 50cm wires for the rest. Now pre-solder the following parts: wires, switch and LED, and then join the 2 LEDs with the short wires like so. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Feed the long length of 2 wires through the hole, past the switch and out. Pull the positive wire through the switch cutout while still leaving enough wire coming out the end. Cut the positive wire and pre-solder the wires before soldering it to the 2 tabs on the switch. Now solder the 2 wires to the pre-soldered LED strip, making sure that the positive and negative wires match the solder tabs. Now we'll need to stick the LED strips into the channel. You'll need to protect the solder joints from shorting with the channel with some electrical tape. After that, remove the paper backing from the LED strips and stick it into the channel. It'll be a squeeze and one strip will possibly overlap the other, but it will still work just fine. You'll now need to bend in the tabs on the channel with some pliers. These tabs on the aluminium provide a dual purpose. As a gap, they allow the tabs on the support arms to snap into place, and they also hold down the LED strips in case the glue comes loose. In addition to the tabs, I also use some offcuts of clear roofing polycarbonate, which is press fit in to hold the LED strips in place. If, like me, you catch the LED lighting bug and start making LED lights in your home, car, or for video and still lighting, then this polycarbonate is great to have. Okay, we're almost done. We just need to put it all together. Feed any excess wire back through the spool arm and pull out the switch while feeding the aluminium channel carefully into the slot. It will likely firm up a bit, so just put the channel on its end and gently push down until the channel locks into the tabs with a snap. Next, take the switch and while pulling the wires through, press fit it into the cutout. Finally, shorten the longer of the two remaining wires and take the female connector and screw it into place, keeping note of the positive and negative markings. Snap the left spool arm onto the channel and you can now attach it to your Prusa i3. When you're attaching the arms, you'll just need to push them down while wiggling them a little to get them in position, before levering them gently until they snap securely onto the frame. Once both arms are on, take your spindle and put a filament spool on it and simply let the spindle slot in securely with a reassuring snap. Finally, you can plug the dimmer into the female connector and then to the plugged in 12-volt power supply. Switch it on at the spool arm and then adjust the dimmer to get it to its maximum brightness. It's important to back off the dimmer a bit from its maximum level, as LEDs might prematurely burn out otherwise. Okay, so that's all folks. Thanks for watching. I hope this was useful to you. Please let me know what you thought with a thumbs up or down or a comment. I love to hear of people's experiences with the models. If you want to see more of my DIY videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Scotty Makes Stuff, at this link. Bye!